Hey YouTube, welcome back to Cassandra's Kitchen, where I eat to live and not live to eat. Today I'm going to be making some tacos. Pizza. Taco pizza. Oh yeah, taco pizza. So I'm going to be making a taco pizza. So if you're interested in seeing how I make this taco pizza, stay tuned and I'll show you. Alright guys, so first thing we're going to do, we're going to start off by making our crust for our pizza. So I am using my KitchenAid on my dough maker here. And so if you don't have a KitchenAid, you can use your food processor if you have the dough on that. If not, you can use the old-fashioned hands and knead it yourself. So don't feel stressed if you don't have this machine. You don't need it. So we're going to start off making our dough. So I'm using 1 1/3 cup of spelt flour. Now I'm using white spelt, and but you can use any flour of your choice. And so this is what we're going to use. And so then we're going to need some baking soda. We're going to need a teaspoon, not soda, powder. My apologies there. Baking powder. We're going to need a teaspoon of that. And also we are going to need half a teaspoon of salt. And I am using pink salt, which it doesn't matter what salt you use. So I have a half a teaspoon of salt. And then we're going to need a tablespoon, because I like to season my pizza dough. So I'm using the Italian seasoning. So I'm putting a tablespoon of Italian seasonings down in there. And I'm also going to be putting a tablespoon of garlic, granulated garlic in there. I want my crust to be good and flavorful. And we're going to need a couple tablespoons of your I'm using the olive oil, organic olive oil. And I'm putting a couple of tablespoons of oil down in here. Okay. And lastly, we're going to need some water. I'm using the Pierre water. And I measured this last time. It took me about 7 tablespoons to get a nice dough. I'm going to start off with 5 just to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I had 7 on my instructions from last time, but we're going to see. So then we just want to get this going. And we're going to let this dough make a ball. Once we have our dough, we're going to let this rest in the refrigerator at least 30 minutes. I would say let's let that rest. And then we're going to start on the toppings for our pizza. Okay. I think I'm going to go ahead and put one more. I think my measurements were correct. 1 and 2. So I think the 7 will do it. That's what I had, but I wasn't quite sure if I wanted to do 7. But that's what I had on my last recipe for my dough. Okay, so what I'm going to do is stop this and scoop all this down from on the sides. And all we want to do is just get this in a nice ball. And that's going to be it for that. All right. And so, yeah, so I decided to make a Mexican pizza because I had a taste for tacos. And then I had a taste for pizza. And I'm like, okay, what should I make? And I was like, oh, let's just make a taco pizza. That'll be interesting and fun. So I was inspired by my cravings today, and so I haven't eaten anything all day. You know, when you go to the store or if you hadn't eaten anything all day, man, everything sounds good. So that's kind of how I was today. Okay, so let me see here. I think I can knead this, but I think I'm going to need 1 more teaspoon of the water, or tablespoon of the water. Just because it's not how I want it yet. And I tell you, it's always different when you messing with dough. It seems to always kind of be different. Okay. And another thing, I also used my food processor last time, so that could be a difference as well. But here we go. I'm starting to make the ball. I like it when it picks up everything out of the pan, out of the, you know, the pan here. All the dough is picked up. That's how I know my ball is ready. Okay. So here we have it. So this is what I was looking for. Just a nice dough ball. So what I'm going to do is just get this in. You know, it's already been kneaded, so really no need to knead anymore. But you can see it's got all the Italian seasoning. It's got that garlic in there. So this is already going to have a bunch of flavor. So we're going to get this in some saran wrap for now. And we're just going to place this in the refrigerator while we work on everything else. So let me see. I have this new little fancy saran wrap thing. Let me see how to open it. Oh, here we go. Got the little clutter and everything on here. Getting fancy on me. Okay. Just figure out how to use it. Okay, I think you do this. How you do it? Oh, yeah. You just cut. See? I'm not used to that. Okay. So we're just going to get this wrapped up in our saran wrap. And we're going to put this in the refrigerator for at least 30 minutes. While we work on everything else, and this is going to be for our pizza crust. All right, so moving on, we're going to prepare our meat, and I am using the Pure Farmland plant-based meatballs. So I'm just going to grind this up and, you know, brown it in my skillet. I have my skillet with a little grapeseed oil, but I do like these meatballs. And so I figured it'd be good to just season these as taco meat and go ahead and get this for our pizza. So I'm just going to go ahead and get this opened up. And again, this is made with non-GMO soy. So it does have soy for those who may not eat that much soy. I try to avoid a lot of the plant mock meats, but occasionally I do like to have them. So all in moderation, I say. But these are really good. I use them for meatballs or spaghetti. I did use these in my lasagna recipe, and oh my gosh, they were so good. So I haven't used these for tacos. I usually use my walnut meat, my walnut and mushroom meat for my tacos, but today I'm going to use this for my pizza. So, and we're just going to get this cut up in our skillet. My skillet is on. And all we're going to do is just let this brown. And then once this browns, I'm only going to add some taco seasoning in here. And you can make your own taco seasoning, you know, if you want to do that. But today I'm actually going to just be using some of the Tone's taco seasoning mix that I have. I'm just going to use that. I'm going to use also in here some of my minced onions in my meat. So these two things will be the only, pretty much the only thing I'll season this with. So we're just going to get this browned up and seasoned. So I'll let you see what it looks like as it starts to cook. All right, so this has been browning for about 10 minutes on medium-high heat. Now this meat is not going to turn brown, just so you know. I don't want you to think it's not done. But it's been browning for about 10 minutes. And so we're going to go ahead and get our minced onions in here, along with our taco seasoning. And then It's also going to cook even more in the oven, so don't think, oh, it's not done. It's done. It just doesn't look like it. It doesn't brown. So that's about 2 tablespoons of the minced onions, or dehydrated onions, some people will call it. I just want to get a little bit of that in here, and then I'm going to get my taco seasoning in here. So I'm going to try to measure for you guys. Let me see. Well, probably not. My measuring thing is in the water. So I'm going to put about a good 2 tablespoons of this in here. And with any taco meat seasoning, you know you got to add a little water. So I'm putting about 1/4 cup of water there. I'll add more, but I just want to get my seasonings all mixed up in here really well. So just put a little bit at a time to get your meat nice and mixed with your seasonings and the onions. If you want to add other seasonings to yours, you can. But because we're just doing a taco pizza, I figured just the taco seasoning and the onions would be great. Okay. And try to break it down as much as you can, but it's going to crumble on top of your pizza. We just want to let this continue to cook with our seasoning for about another 2 or 3 minutes. And then we can set it aside and let it cool, because we're going to top it on top of our pizza. So this is where you want to taste. Well, mine definitely tastes like taco seasoning, or taco meat, I should say. But definitely I always say season to your liking. But I put about 2 tablespoons of the taco seasoning in here. And about a tablespoon of the minced onions. Okay? And that's plenty. Okay. And just mix a little water in there to get that taco seasoning in there real good. And that's all you do with the meat. Pretty simple, straightforward, nothing too hard. That's why I made it simple, because you can add other seasonings, but I mean, everybody usually has a blended taco seasoning in their pantry, so it's simple and easy, and you don't have to worry about going out getting a lot of seasonings just for a quick dish like this. So all right, so now we're gonna move on. Our dough should be about ready, and once we get our dough out, we're gonna start to roll that out and get our pizza topped. All right, so guys, we are getting ready to build our pizza. So we have our pizza dough that we had resting in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes or longer. I have some Diya block cheese. I like this cheese, it's really good. I'm gonna be using the Diya block cheese along with the Follow Your Heart mozzarella shreds. Because it's pizza, but because it's taco pizza, I want to put a little bit of the yellow cheese in there. And I'm going to put a little bit of Feta crumbs. It's just also from Follow Your Heart. Now, if you don't have these 3 cheeses, that's okay. You can use one or the other, or you can just go out and get them. I got all of these at Sprouts. So I know Sprouts carries the Feta crumbles, the Diya block, as well as the mozzarella. And we're going to also top our pizza with some black olives. We're going to be using some tomatoes, fresh tomatoes, and also some green onions. We have those cut up. And then we have our meat, of course. So what we're going to, and we have to have sauce, right? Got the taco seasoning, or the taco, not taco sauce, spaghetti sauce, which is going to put on there, but I'll grab that in a second. So we will be using spaghetti sauce. But here is our dough. And we're just gonna knead this out to our pan. Now you can use a rolling pan or you can use your hands to do this. Either way will work fine. I'm just gonna try to use my hand to get this out on our pizza pan. Not that hard, right? You want to make sure you keep it kind of together. You don't want holes in there. So just kind of knead it out with your hands. All right. So I'm going to get this kneaded on here. It's almost there. See? And if your crust is, depending on your pan size, if your crust is a little bit bigger than your pan, stuff it. Let it hang over, stuff some cheese around it, and then roll it up. Have a little stuffed crust pizza. So, can't go wrong, right? Okay. And this is really a good crust. It's got a nice crispy texture once it cooks. And it's still real moist. It took me a while to come up with this. I will buy the store-bought sometime, but sometimes I just like making my own. So, because I know what's in it. All right. Okay. There we go. Now, this is not necessary. I don't know why I do it, but I do. I always poke a little bit of hose in my crust. I've just been doing that since I can remember, because we always used to make pizza. But I don't think it's necessary, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to take a fork and just poke a few holes, and I think it's to let it vent so it will cook good. Okay. Now, if you're one that likes your crust crispier, and you can pop this in the oven for maybe 3 to 5 minutes to get it going before you start to topping it. I think it'll work either way. But the crust isn't going to be soggy. I've made it before. So, okay. See, we just got that placed on our pizza pan. Just make sure it's pretty much even all the way around. Like I said, it could be a lot quicker if you use your rolling pin, but I don't want to dirty up dishes. So let me get the pizza sauce. And for the pizza sauce, I'm going to be using, this is the Sprouts, just organic pizza sauce. Nothing fancy. Now you can get fancy and make your own if you like, but this is pretty good. It's organic. I like Kroger's pizza sauce too. It's got a really nice flavor to it. So we're going to use our pizza sauce here. And we already had oil down in the crust, so you don't need to worry about oiling the pan so it won't stick, because we put those 2 tablespoons of oil down in your crust. So this should not stick to our pan. Or you can do like me. On most occasions I use parchment paper because I like easy cleanup, but I didn't use the parchment paper this time. But I'm going to get our tomato sauce evenly on here. Y'all, this is easy. And y'all know as vegans it's hard to order pizza out, but if you want a quick meal, you want a pizza, you just can make your own. They do have some of the pizza crusts that are already ready if you don't want to do the crust. But this was an easy crust. You guys see, just make it 30 minutes before you're about ready to make your pizza. Pop it in the oven. Pop it in the refrigerator while you're doing everything else. And hey, you can have this ready. Okay? Not hard. Okay. Cool beans. So now we have that. We're going to put a little bit of cheese. So we're going to put our mozzarella on the bottom. And I think we're gonna layer a lot of the yellow cheese towards the top of it, since it is a taco pizza. Depending on how much cheese you like. Get that cheese on there. I like a lot of cheese on mine, so, and it helps to make my toppings stick. Okay. All right. Next, what we're gonna do is start putting our meat on here. So we have our taco meat. This is my kitchen. I can use my hands and they clean, by the way. So, get that taco meat on here. As heavy or as light as you like it. That whole pack makes a lot, so I will be doing 2 pizzas for the family tonight. So, that will definitely make 2. If you're only going to make 1 pizza, you could split that pack of the meatballs in half because it makes plenty of meat. Or if you just like a real heavy pizza, cook them both. Cook them all. Okay. All right. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to get our black olives on here. Look at that, guys. This is going to be delicious. Friday night, good old pizza. What more can a girl ask for? Okay. I love black olives, so I will be heavy on my toppings. And we're going to use a little bit of the green onions with the shallots here. Looks just like a Mexican pizza. Okay. And we're going to do some tomato. Can't have tacos without tomatoes, right? Okay. All right. And I'm not going to make this super heavy. And we're going to put some feta. Because you know, tacos and feta cheese is amazing together. Just sprinkle a little bit of that feta cheese on there. And last but not least, I'm going to do a little bit of the Diya. Like I said, this is optional, but because it is a taco, and you know, most people use yellow cheese on their tacos, I'm like, why not put some yellow cheese on top of our pizza? So, I'm going to shred a little bit of this. What you talking about? Boy, don't y'all be messing with me. Y'all know, look at this, y'all. Y'all know this looks good. It ain't even done yet, okay? But anywho, we're going to keep it moving. Cassandra, keep it moving. Okay, I think that's all I want on here. Now, if you want to sprinkle a little flavor on top, you can. But this is just so pretty right now. So I have my oven set to 400. And I'm going to actually keep it at 400. Depending on your oven, you can turn yours down to 375. But most pizzas, I noticed they'll say bake at 425. So I'm going to keep mine at 400 because I want my dough to cook really well. If you need to bring it up to 425, definitely feel free to do so. But I'm going to trust my oven at 400. But this is what I want you guys to see. Give you a little bit of a close-up. Okay. This is it. And this is the taco pizza. So we're going to get this in the oven and I'll let you guys see what it looks like when it comes out of the oven. So I'll be right back. All right, guys. So here we are. Our pizza is done. It is pretty. It looks good. So I want to give you guys a close-up on that pizza. This is our taco pizza. So now we're going to do our taste test. So let's get to cutting this here. And so this baked in the oven. On my oven, I had it on 400 for 30 minutes. And I put it back in there for another 5 minutes. And I just pushed it up to 425 just to get that good crispy crust that I like. So I'm a thin crust girl and I love crispy crust. But this isn't like too thin. It's still got that breading. So, but let's go ahead and get this cut. Look at that. Oh my gosh, I'm super excited right now. It's cooled off, so I did let it sit for a second so we can make sure it's good and cool. So I can cut it. Okay. All right. Cool beans. So I don't actually need a spatula. So look at this. Oh yes. I'm sorry, but look at that. So y'all know I'm gonna call my favorite helper over here, Mr. Coleman.
Yes.
Can I have your assistance, please?
Yes, you may.
What is it? Your favorite time?
My favorite time once again.
Well, you come on over here. So, it's still a little warm. So I'm sorry, y'all. I haven't eaten all day, and I told y'all that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh gosh, this is the taco pizza.
Okay.
So it's got on here again black olives, green onions or scallions, I guess is what you call them, and we use the Pure Life meat, tomatoes. We made our dough from scratch. I just want to take a bite too. Does it taste okay?
It's amazing.
Is it good?
Another good job, yes.
Okay.
Y'all not going to be disappointed with this one. Promise. It is really, really good. Good God Almighty.
I'm making a mess. I'm sorry.
When you want to eat that, I grab my own.
It is good.
I know it.
And the crust, guys, is...
Yes, the crust is amazing. I mean...
It's thin enough to where, if you don't like a lot of bread, but it's the way that it's just enough bread.
Yes.
It ain't too bready, and it's not too thin.
Yes.
It's like got that perfect balance in the middle.
And it's bursting with flavor, y'all. I mean, literally, it's just bursting with flavor.
That is so good. We both hungry. We haven't eaten all day. And we're both sitting in here like, when do we eat? Here, let me get you another napkin.
Telling y'all.
So, y'all, the
not
taco pizza. So if you got cravings like I did today, you didn't know if you wanted tacos or if you wanted pizza, do a taco pizza, right? So make it, and if you try it and you like it, you know what to do. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. And of course, share this video.
You guys.
I love it when you guys share it. And I love it when you guys hit me up with a comment. Let me know, hey, I made this, I enjoyed it, or I wish that you would do this or do that.
Great. It's amazing.
I'm open for suggestions. I love your comments. So definitely keep them coming. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel and you just stopping by here and there, subscribe. What are you waiting for?
Yes.
I would love to have you follow me. So again, this is the taco pizza. Y'all, it is thebomb.com.
Yes, definitely.
It is good. So you definitely have to try it. And I gave you guys a close-up. Did I give them a close-up?
Yeah. You did, from the beginning.
I'm just let them see the inside.
Well,
okay.
Okay.
Let me just show y'all one more time. You come over here and make sure they can see it.
Let's see.
I just want to make sure that they can see that crust.
Just a little bit there, yes.
So guys, here's the crust, and I'm
crust
working.
Is nice and crispy. I mean,
it's crispy,
really
but
good.
it's not like a cracker. It's still bready, but it's good. So it's not overly thick and it's not too thin. But this is it, guys. The taco pizza. So wanted to give you all a close up so you can see that the cheese and everything is bursting with flavor. So from Cassandra's kitchen to yours, I love you and be blessed until next time. Bye bye now.